Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? We can start. The Driftless Area contains plant species from several major continental regions, many adapted to cliffs, sand, water, cold habitat. For the past 14 years, I've been imaging plant species in this area using a high-resolution flatbed scanner. Listed species are scanned with permission on site. Species not listed and that are on private property can be collected and scanned in the studio or a nearby vehicle. Scanning has several advantages over macro photography: high resolution, a large field of view, a surprisingly high depth of field, accurate color, and little motion artifacts. Presently I have over 200 species posted on this webpage. This morning I will present a few examples of native and introduced species. Cliff Goldenrod, initially found in Wisconsin in 1909, I found it in two places in Illinois, an algific slope and one station in the Galena Territory. Golden seal, not on the USDA map for Joe Davis County. This was scanned in 2008 on private property north of Galena. Over the past 5 years, invasive garlic mustard has surrounded but is not supplanting this species. The patch was in fact expanding. Cardinal Flower, also not on the USDA map for Joe Davis County. The number of specimens in this station near the Mississippi River varies considerably from year to year, largely due to flooding. The color is not enhanced in any way. Climbing Rose, likewise not on the USDA map for Joe Davis County, I observed two large patches near Hanover Bluffs. Its range is predominantly southern. The species just begins to encroach on the driftless area. The small flowers of Indian tobacco scanned in the same high-quality location as the golden seal. This species is exclusively self-pollinating, with the anthers fused about the style. Prairie smoke scanned on the Lost Mound unit of the Upper Mississippi Wildlife Refuge in 2008. The species is plentiful and stable at this location. Scouring rush, coming up next, is a wetland species. Note that the resolution of the scan is sufficient to show the four arms of a single spore on the right, otherwise seen only with microscopy, as shown on the left. Gaura biennis by night, with 8 stamens in a central style with filamented tip awaiting pollen deposition. This species is pollinated only by night. And here we have Gaura biennis by day. The arrows show the stigmata now well covered with pollen. This is coming up. The flowers and stamens are withered and the buds await opening on this evening. And here is the moth responsible for pollinating. It sat motionless for the entire scan, comfortable with its camouflage. The arrows show tusk-like appendages on the forelegs. Bird's Eye Primrose, scanned with permission at the Apple River Canyon State Park, April 4th, 2012. There is also a white form of this cold-adapted species. In the next slide, I show the setup required to scan the Bird's Eye Primrose. One must often improvise, here with an articulating ladder. Many of you will recognize Corey Ritterbush, my assistant for the day, on the right. Glade mallow, coming up next, scanned near Prairie Remnant in southern Wisconsin. In this species, female and male flowers, left and right respectively, are on separate plants. And I now present a few introduced species. Rose mallow. Although it is occasional and widespread throughout North America, I've only seen this plant once in 13 years. This specimen scanned July 25, 2008 in a roadside ditch. And here's a close-up of its pollen-bearing stamens. This gives you an idea of the maximum resolution obtainable with current scanner technology, about 25 microns. Butamus umbellatus, this highly invasive wetland species that's taken over 100 years to move from the St. Lawrence River into the Mississippi. I reported my first sighting to the USGS in 2009 and my second last year to the EDD Invasive Species Mapping System, as shown on this slide. I'm happy to report that this last plant was removed by the Army Corps of Engineers or someone within 2 weeks of my report. In conclusion, flatbed scanning provides a new window on species identification as well as tracking. Thank you very much.